Okay, well, welcome to part 3 of The Little Prince. We're back.
We're back.
Think we'll make it into 4 parts?
Maybe.
Wait,
You really
we're
don't want to
going.
do that pickup episode with Sam.
No, I can make it. Okay, so this is last part of Little Prince. We are starting on chapter 21 when the prince meets the fox. I think we're just going to get right into it.
That's it.
Yep, but first, this is Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Candace.
And today, we're finishing Little Prince, as we've said.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Okie dokie. So, chapter 21 starts with the prince meeting the fox. This is just after the prince has gotten over his devastation of meeting 5,000 roses that look like his one and only rose. Very sad. Meets the fox. Fox is like, hey, what if we become friends? And the prince is like, okay. And the fox is like, but actually, I must be tamed. And the prince says, what does that mean? So the fox walks him through it. So basically, the prince needs to get to know the fox, and they become tamed by each other, meaning that now they have ties, which is something that people have lost sight of these days, according to the fox. And so what happens at the end is that the fox needs to go, or the prince needs to go. I kind of forget, honestly. No, the prince needed to go. Anyways, and of course this makes the fox very sad because now he has a friend. But the fox says, "But you know what? It's a good thing that we have been friends because now whenever I see the wheat fields, it'll remind me of your hair, and I'll always think of you. And you'll think of me too whenever you see a fox or whatever. You'll remember the one special friend that you had, and we'll be friends forever."
The
And the
prince
Mhm.
leaves the fox because he remembers his rose.
Oh, yes. That's it.
So now he's on a journey to get back home to his rose.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Great. Great addition. And before they part, the fox gives him a gift, which is a secret. And the secret is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. And it is the time that you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important.
Hmm.
He has a lot of good lines, actually. Do you want me to read you another one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he says, people have forgotten this truth, said the fox, but you must not forget it. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. You are responsible for your rose. Oh,
I can
yeah.
imagine Antoine was a very romantic partner,
I could see that.
spitting out lines like this.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say he felt really sad at the end of his life.
Well,
Might have
maybe.
been both. Yeah, because
Hmm.
that's just so sad thinking about like it sounds like he realized he's like, oh my gosh, I am responsible for
Hmm.
Consuela. I'm imagining. And that just must be such a weight for anybody because everybody
Yeah.
fails, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, okay, so that's the fox. So now the prince is on his journey back home. He meets a few more characters along the way. First one is a railway switchman who keeps switching the track so that the trains can travel. But the switchman doesn't know where people are going. And in fact, no one knows where they're going. And in fact, even the people on the train may not know where they're going. He says, um, the switchman says they're pursuing nothing at all. They're asleep in there, or if they're not asleep, they're yawning. Only the children are flattening their noses against the window panes. And the prince says, only the children know what they are looking for.
Hmm.
Hmm, interesting. We'll talk more about that later. Okay, last character he meets is the merchant who sells water pills. And it makes you so that you only need to swallow one pill a week, and then you'll feel no need to drink anything for a week. And the prince says, why are you selling that? And he says, they save a tremendous amount of time. With these pills, you save 53 minutes every week. And the prince says, with those 53 minutes, I would like to find a nice glass of water.
Uh,
Okay,
Depending on where you are, that could save way more than 50 minutes.
that's true.
I'm gonna throw that
that's
out there.
That's a good point. This actually could be a great life-saving invention.
Yeah.
Excellent idea. Okay. Now in the last section, we kind of come back to present day. The pilot says it's now the eighth day since he's had his accident in the desert, and he just listened to the story of the merchant, and the pilot was drinking his last drop of his water supply. So he says, "Hey, we need to find water." So then the prince tells him the secret of the desert, which is that there's a well hiding in the desert. They go and find it. Um, the pilot brings up the water for both him and the prince. And then something kind of magical happens where it's like the prince kind of transforms into this like thing of beauty and endearment for the pilot, where kind of before he was like, oh, his laugh kind of annoys me and whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
now all of a sudden his laugh is like magical and it's like music to his ears. Um, and let's see. And I think you could say they've been tamed by each other.
That's what I said.
Yeah, right? So good. I think yeah, I think he tied that one together really well. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
they are now tamed. They're now BFFs. But then the next day, he wakes up and he sees the little prince talking to that snake again. And the snake says, "Yep, I have just the right poison for you. You'll be home in a jiff." And the prince says, "Okay." And so the pilot is really concerned. He said, "What's happening? I'm not going to leave your side. I don't want you to suffer." The prince says, "I must do it." And so then we see the prince kind of like, I don't know, have this out of body experience, or I don't know how you
Mm-hmm.
describe it. But, anyways, he falls gently to the ground, and I guess like his soul returns back to the planet, is
Yeah.
the idea of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So the narrator is very devastated at this. And then in the last chapter, he's kind of reflecting on all this, and he's like, "It's been 6 years since this has happened, and I need to tell the story." And he always thinks about the little prince, and now whenever he sees the stars, it thinks of his friend and the planet that he's on. Um, and then as he's reflecting, he says, like, "Here is a great mystery. For you who love the little prince, and for me, nothing in the universe can be the same if somewhere, we do not know where, a sheep we never saw has eaten a rose. Look up at the sky and ask yourselves, has a sheep eaten the flower? And you'll see how everything changes. And no grown up will understand that this is a matter of so much importance." So we see that the narrator has, his whole life has changed from meeting the prince.
Mm. Does the So I'm assuming he gets out. Does he ever fix his plane?
Oh yeah, he does. He does. So the day the prince is getting bitten by the snake, the man goes over to tell him. He's like, he's so excited that he's going to tell the prince that his plane was fixed. But then he sees a snake and then he gets distracted. He's like, "What's going on with the snake?" And then the prince says,
Ah,
"Congrats on fixing your plane." But the guy was like, "I didn't tell you that I fixed my plane. How did you know that?"
yeah.
And so the prince said, "We're both going home today."
That's so
I know. It
sad.
is really sad.
Maybe
I
the
know.
little prince, I was gonna say, represents Francois, his little brother.
Hmm.
But I don't
That'd
know
be
that
really sweet.
Francois had a rose.
Um,
It might be like a mix. It might not be one to
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it could be a mix. Because it does seem like you were saying the way Francois died was also in
Mm-hmm.
The Little Prince. I mean, you know what? I think that could make sense because probably he saw a lot of innocence in his brother
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of like childlikeness. So
Yeah.
I could see if a lot of the characteristics of the prince came from Francois.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's so sad.
I know. Yeah, the last line is really sad. I'll read that too. Um, If you then if a little man appears who laughs, who has golden hair, and who refuses to answer questions, you will know who he is. If this should happen, please comfort me. Send me word that he has come back. And that's how it
Oh,
ends. So he's just always looking for the little
babe.
prince. I know. I
Babe.
kind of like that that could be his brother.
Yeah.
Or I guess it could be like your childlike self. We had talked about that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
possible. You're always looking for that. And maybe little things remind you of it, like the stars laughing
Mm-hmm.
remind you of childhood.
Yeah, because it seems like after all of this, the pilot has regained his sense of wonder and creativity
Yeah.
and whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do a rewind and let's go back to the fox.
Mm. Yes. The fox reminded me of a cat because he was like, "You need to tame me." He's like, "How will I do that?" He said, "Leave and come back every day at the same exact time, and each day I'll get a little bit closer to you." And he said, "Okay."
I thought the taming was a nice way to think of relationships and
Hmm.
connections. And you tame one another in the sense that you've created a connection.
Yeah.
And even though you're sad, because the fox is like, you'll be gone and I'll be sad while you're gone, but I need you to be gone so that I can remember how nice it is. He says something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see exactly.
Well, there's this one part where the
Oh,
prince is. Oh,
mhm.
did you find it?
No, 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 go for it.
Okay. There's this part where the prince is leaving, and the prince says, "But now you're going to cry." "Yes, that is so," said the fox. "Then it has done you no good at all," like him taming him. And the
Yeah.
fox says, "It has done me good because of the color of the wheat fields." Because now he'll always remember the prince.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and then this is what brings the little prince to remember his rose, that they had tamed one another. So even though there are millions of roses out there, there's only one Consuelo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
I
so
said
sweet.
I said 2 million humans, but only one Chrissy.
Only one Gangi.
That's right. Okay. What do you think about the switchman?
Oh, wait,
He
wait, wait.
felt
I still have a few
unnecessary.
more. I
Oh.
still have a few
Oh.
more fox things.
Oh, okay.
I know, I know. Because one of the things the rose also reminded me of is like kids, where it's like you're really not getting a lot
Mm,
in return from your kids,
yes.
but
Yes.
it's like the relationship that's meaningful.
Yes.
Um, and so especially, and so like there's this one line the fox says where it says, "It is a time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important." I don't fully know what he means by that,
Does he mean
but
wasted or invested?
he says wasted. Which is why I'm like, I wouldn't call any time you invest in a relationship wasted,
Yeah.
but right? So that's not the word I would choose.
Maybe it means maybe it means something different in this context. Like not
What about
spent.
spent?
Yeah. I think maybe more spent. Now, this is a translated book, so it is
Right.
possible that
It's different
some
in French.
context is a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because wasted, I feel like, I don't know if that makes a ton of sense,
Yeah. I
but
agree. That's not the word I would have used.
right. So, but it all reminded me of like kids.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I don't really have a ton of other. I think that's actually my main line. Oh, wait. No, I did have another one. Okay. So okay, so the prince and fox are talking about like how do I tame you? And the fox says, "First you'll sit down at a little distance from me, like that, in the grass. I shall look at you out of the corner of my eye, and you will say nothing." See, it's just like a cat. Words
It's
are the
very
source.
cat.
I know. Words are the source of misunderstandings, but you will sit a little closer to me every day. And I thought that was interesting because the prince earlier said he should have judged the rose on what she did and not what she said. Because
Mm.
she said things that like weren't very loving, but the things she did were loving.
Oh, that's so good.
Although actually I had a qualm with that too when he said it back in the beginning. But
Because you're like,
maybe.
she didn't do loving actions.
Well, yeah, she didn't really do loving. So the loving action she did was that she perfumed the air or like gave beauty or something. But I'm like, she really didn't have any choice over that. Like she wasn't choosing to do that. That's just how she was made.
Well, what else could she do?
She could, well, I guess that's true. She couldn't move. I was gonna say she could say nice things, but that'd be words again. Um, I don't know. Couldn't she do something? Couldn't she, can she move at all? I guess you're right. I guess if you
She's
can't move, you're
I,
kind of limited.
I mean, it seems like she's kind of it seems like I feel like the perfume is the best she could do.
I guess I was thinking she didn't have a choice over that.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
So it'd be like, wow, you love me so much because you have skin. And it's like, it's like, what?
Maybe we can pretend that she didn't have to do that
Okay, maybe that's what he's getting at.
because she's a very special rose because she can talk.
I
So
mean,
she
that's
might
true.
have
Apparently, these can talk. Oh, can they, or do they just make faces?
the bees.
Well, so the roses are embarrassed. Actually, maybe they don't talk. But there's another flower that talks.
There's a cactus that he talks to when he first crash lands.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cactus, and he's like, "When have you seen people?" And they're like, "I haven't seen anyone in 84 years." And he's like, "This does not sound good for me."
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know. So interesting.
so the switchman. I
Hmm.
felt like that page could have been ripped out. I do not understand what this is
Honestly,
trying to say.
yeah. I was also a little confused about this. Other than it reminded me of the lamplighter, where it's like he keeps doing the same thing over and over. He's like, I don't really know why, but I still am. So maybe partly it kind of connects the planets together. But I mean, there's a lot of good lines here where it's like, why are people always moving? And he says, no one is ever satisfied where he is.
I was just gonna say that, where maybe what that represents is like people never being, like he says, satisfied where they are, always needing
Yeah,
to go to the next thing. And you ask them, well, what is that? What is the next thing? And you're like, I don't know. I
right.
just need it.
Yeah, maybe that's kind of it. It's like the adults are all just kind of, from what it sounds like, wandering aimlessly around, don't have a purpose. But the kids are interested in like what's in front of them. And
Yeah.
they're like, this rag doll that I have, that's what's important. And I'm responsible for it. And so like they're not looking for anything else. They're already satisfied.
Yeah. Like they're happy with what they have. And it's these adults who
Yeah.
are missing what they have. They could be hanging out with their kids, they could be looking at the scenery, but they're too busy looking forward at the next thing.
Yeah. Okay.
All
I think
right.
that's good.
Now the page should be back in.
Took out your glue stick.
Yeah, took it out. All right, back in, back in.
But yeah, both all of these little like vignettes did feel a little strange.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just the little prince just telling his journey, I guess.
right. I guess so. Okay, are you ready for the next guy?
The water pills.
Mm-hmm. Water pills. Yeah, this guy reminded me of the accountant.
How
Was it the
so?
accountant? Um, right, where he was counting things kind of just to count them. And this guy's like, well, you could say 53 minutes if you eat a pill, swallow a pill. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I guess just focused on numbers and like always trying to maximize. Oh, because a star guy, he wanted to own stars just to own them. It sounds like I just want to have more time.
I didn't take much stock into this water pill guy when I was reading it, but now that we're reading it again, I wonder if he represents like technology.
Oh,
And like, oh, I can do this thing that saves you time, that makes your life easier. But
yeah.
the prince is like, it's more about the journey and not about saving 53 minutes so I don't
Wow.
have to drink water
Yeah. You know what?
because
That's
he'd
crazy.
rather.
Oh, no, you finish.
Oh,
No,
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 I'm
you
done.
finish. No, what? No, no, you finish.
Okay. I was just gonna say, he would rather not take the technology, but enjoy the journey. to get him
Mm-hmm.
to a waterfall, fresh water.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that is so crazy because the comment, my little note in this chapter said, I feel like this is how I feel with social media and technology. Like we're better off without it. I think that's a great
Oh.
way to think about it. I didn't connect that exactly, but it did make me think about technology. Like
So you don't like technology, but you do want to be a remote worker.
the life is full of contradictions.
Does that mean you just don't want to work?
Could mean that.
Could mean that.
That's a good point. But no, where it's like, I don't know, maybe things like social media where it's like it takes so much of your time and you feel like you're connected to people, but it's like you're not actually connected to all 200 people you
No,
follow. Like if you were
no,
to call 5 friends a month, you'd probably have a lot deeper friendships with those
for
five
sure.
people. So so it made me think of that, where like it feels like you're doing all these things at once, but it's like actually not as good as
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. That was
I'm
my
also
thought.
thinking the merchant because he says computations have been made by experts. With these
Mm.
pills, you save 53 minutes in every week. And I wonder if Antoine is thinking about these fancy planes.
Oh, where he's an accountant.
Well, yeah, where he's like, I want to fly the planes
Oh,
normal. I don't want to be relying on these fancy things that save me almost no time
yeah.
when I can just do it myself.
Oh, that's a good point. What are the chances in his last journey he was like, I don't need the buttons. And he undid all the buttons. It was like I'm doing it old school.
Antoine, I could see him doing a lot of things, like having, I think the thing about him circling the
Airport.
airport,
Did he have
that to,
passengers?
I think he was doing mail cargo.
Oh my gosh.
That to me is just like really crazy behavior, kind of a little bit selfish,
Yeah,
impulsive,
that's
like a
so
lot of
wild.
behavior that would lend me to think that he decided to color outside of the lines. And that might have been one of his last missions because they said he was only supposed to do five, and then he was on his ninth.
Yeah.
So, and maybe it was a suicide mission.
Is his snake.
His snake. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, it could have been. It does just seem to fit so perfectly with the ending of The Little Prince.
Very strange.
Yeah, that does make you wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I like these little vignettes that he put in there.
I think books are a lot more rich and interesting when you think about them a little bit more deeply sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sometimes not,
Yeah,
but sometimes yes.
as opposed to using technology like my chat GPT or Spark Notes to summarize.
Oh my
You get a lot
gosh.
better when you
That's
actually
all
just
right.
read it.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Okay, so now we're back to the narrator and the little prince. They're getting water. What'd you think of all those interactions?
I liked it seeing that now the prince and the pilot have tamed one another. They're connected.
hmm
You're seeing their friendship. Um, and it made me really sad that the prince wasn't going to make it to their next journey.
I know. Oh, but they've both been changed forever.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I like the line. So, the narrator pulls up the bucket with water and it says, I raised the bucket to his lips. He drank, his eyes closed. It was as sweet as some special festival treat. This water was indeed a different thing from ordinary nourishment. Its sweetness was born of the walk under the stars, the song of the pulley, the effort of my arms. It was good for the heart, like a present. I felt like he was describing like friendship there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's really nice.
I know. And like friendship changes all those other mundane or even negative things, like the song of the pulley. Because he at first described it as like a creaking, whining sound. Then the prince said, "Look, it's making music for us." And
Mm-hmm.
now he's thinking about it as the song of the pulley. So it's like friendship also changes how you view the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the prince had been on Earth for 1 year to the day.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why. I wonder why that matters if he just wanted like a full symmetry. Like maybe he made one full rotation around the planet
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
or
Oh,
one
he
full
saw.
rotation around the sun. Is that a
Yeah.
year?
Right. Yeah, yeah, it'd be around the sun. Um,
Mhm.
but it sounds like Little Prince also walked around the whole planet. So,
He might
yeah,
have.
maybe he wanted to see all the sunsets throughout the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else the 1 year would represent. But I guess there's a lot to see because on all the other planets he spent less than a day.
Yeah. Well, this one was by far the biggest.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a nice line too. It says, this is when the narrator is learning that the prince is gonna leave the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends the chapter by saying, "One runs the risk of weeping a little if one lets himself be tamed." Mm.
That's so sweet. There's so many
I
good lines in
know. I
here.
know. Honestly, like the whole book, I just highlighted.
Okay, so let's look back at this last little bit and let's see. Do we think that the snake is evil? Do we think he's nice?
I don't know because, yeah, whenever I see a snake, I feel like it has to be evil. There's even
Mm-hmm.
a line where he says, "Hey, little prince, why are you talking to the snake?" And it did remind me of like Adam and Eve, of like, who told you you were naked? You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Well, because even the pilot says the snake must not bite you. Snakes, they're malicious creatures. This one might bite you just for fun.
That's what the prince says to the
Oh, that's what
pilot.
the prince said.
Mm-hmm.
So even he knows. So,
But then he remembers snakes only have venom for one bite.
well, why does he want to get bit? I guess he's like, this is the only way I can go back to my rose.
Yeah. Oh, is this like Romeo and Juliet kind of thing?
A little bit, because it sounds like that rose is gone after a year of the baobabs.
Oh, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I know. It really feels like he just dies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, that's sad. So he
Ah,
never sees. Oh, so when he finally starts to love his rose and wants to go back, maybe he can't.
might be too late.
Oh, that's really
Time check.
sad.
How much time do we have?
16 minutes.
Okay. I think that's enough time to do read it like Reddit and some ratings.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. So that's the book. Are we ready to rate it?
Yes,
All right. So, message slash theme. Do we even need to go through all the categories
I
or
think
do you
so.
already
So
know? All right.
I'm not giving it a 5.
Okay. All right. Message slash theme.
I would give that a 5.
I think I'm feeling five too.
A lot of
Writing
really good
style.
themes. Good.
Yeah. And it's so rereadable. Like you always get a different
Mm-hmm.
theme each time you read it,
Yeah.
I think. All right. Writing style.
I don't know where to put this, but the book is like a little slow slash boring, even though it's
Oh,
very
there's,
nice and thoughtful.
yeah. There's a category called entertainment.
Oh,
That
okay.
sounds
Okay.
most like entertainment.
Yeah, I would give writing style a 5 then.
Okay. I felt like sometimes I was a little confused as to what he meant. Did you ever feel that way?
Yeah, I felt like that a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 4.
All right. Maybe I
All
should
right,
give it a
okay.
4 too.
Stick to your gut. There's also an other slash miscellaneous,
Okay. Okay.
whatever you want to do. Character depth.
I think 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 5 too.
Like from the rose to the fox to the prince to the
Yeah.
baobabs. I feel like I really know like a lot of these people.
Right.
And
And
even
he
like the
just, mhm.
tippler.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he is able to show a lot of different facets of adulthood through all the characters. So like in that
Yes.
way, it's all very deep.
Hmm.
So I like that. Okay, lands the plane. Haha. Not literally.
Oh, 5 is a great ending.
Yeah, I think 5. All right, entertainment.
3.
3, that low?
It's kind of boring.
So do you think you would have finished it if we weren't reading it together?
It's one of those things where it's like I enjoy it because it has like a lot of deep meanings, but I'm
Yeah.
not excited to read it. It was hard for
Mm,
me to read it.
yeah, I get that. That's
Yeah.
true. It was not a page too long.
I know, and it was short as it was. So,
Yeah, okay. I think I'll go 4.
okay.
All right, other miscellaneous. Anything that wasn't already captured.
Um, I think everything got captured for me.
I'm debating giving another 5 just because like it is so rereadable, so timeless,
That is
you
true.
know?
Maybe give it a 5 for readability, just because like how many books could I read this
I
many
know,
times? Not
right?
many. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so you
give
want
me
to
a
give it a
5.
5? All right, I did it too. All right. So that brings us, what do you think the final score is?
Oh my God. 4.85.
A little lower, actually. It's a
4 point.
4.7 after rounding.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah. I think they have a great scoring system because I'm always like, yeah, it feels about right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Read it like Reddit. I didn't have a ton of time to look through all of the posts, but over from what I saw, it was all very positive. And there
Mm-hmm.
were some comments that were kind of interesting. And this one person said, like, as you read it in each life stage, it's kind of a different book. And so they said, as a child, it's a fairy tale. As an adolescent, it's about needing to explore the world and rebellion against the bourgeoisie. What do you think of
Yeah.
that? Rebellion?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about that, right? Not being a cog in the machine,
Yeah. Yeah.
not being a slave to
Yeah.
money or stars or, you know,
Lamp
things like
lighting.
that. Yeah, lamp lighting. Yeah, getting out of your self-made prisons. I could
Yeah.
see that.
I think that's good. Okay. As an adult, it's about the difficulty of commitment.
Okay.
Think
Maybe they're
that's
talking
true.
about the rose.
Yeah, because he's kind of like escaping the rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, being married and having like one person that you're like, I'm gonna do life with you until I die is very difficult sometimes.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. But it is interesting thinking about like if the rose was his responsibility, it's like traveling wasn't his responsibility, you know? Where it's like
Yeah.
if those two things, if your desire to travel comes in conflict with your ability to do what you need to do to take care of the rose, then it's like, well, maybe you should choose the rose, you know? But I
Hmm.
mean, that's a hard thing to do. But we kind of see that come up.
Or try to find a way to bring the rose with you.
That's true. Yeah, maybe there's a way to do both.
Why not?
Yeah, you
Do
can
we
get a
know how
pot.
the prince got from planet to planet?
He just had a little vehicle. I don't think he really goes into detail.
He has a moped,
Yeah,
space ped.
rides on space.
Yeah. Bzz, bzz. Okay. Because I'm like, maybe
It's.
there's room for the rose.
I bet there was. I don't think he had a pot. Probably the rose
Well,
wouldn't be able to survive the transplant.
she seemed quite frail.
Yeah. Okay. And then last category, as a senior, it's about loss and what you should have appreciated when you could.
Oh, I could see
I
that.
know. I feel like that's the feeling I get the most. You think of like this feeling of longing and lost and loss. Do you think? Because I feel
Um,
like that's what we talked about, but maybe not.
well, I guess it's not about what was talked about, but what stood out the most to you. What did you relate
Mm,
with the most on this read?
yeah.
What did you relate with the most? Was it loss?
Hmm. No, I think on this one, a lot of things stuck out to me about like work, because that's like what I'm thinking about. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I guess that makes sense.
So I think that's what the Reddit person
Mhm.
is trying to say.
I guess they got it.
I don't know what stood out the most to me this read. I think as I was reading it, I don't know what stood out the most. I think looking back, what I'll probably think about the most. I don't know. I don't know why I'm just drawing blank, 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 blanks.
We talked about a lot of different things.
We talked a
Talked a
lot
lot
about a
about
lot of different
Nazis,
things.
about evil, rooting out the
You
evil.
know what? I think that is what sticks out the most to me is how how the same things are 80 years later.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The world keeps turning. I think that's definitely it. Thank you for bringing that to my attention because you're right.
Yeah,
It's that people at our core, this is what it is.
interesting. Yeah, I think that's a great point.
Hmm.
Yeah, timeless. Well, I don't know what age category that puts you in, but that's good. Okay. All right. I'm looking through Goodreads reviews now. 5 stars. People love this book. They're like top 5 book of my life.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, just kind of a lot of the same things you talked about. Very profound. And then one person said, most importantly, this book is totally all true. 100% nonfiction, baby. So
I
I'm
mean, I
curious what the one
think
stars are.
that's kind of how I feel, right? Where I'm like, people, this is a book about people
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how the
It
same
feels
we
very
are.
real.
Yes. Okay, so let's see what the one stars are.
Um, Ooh, one person said, "Oh, yes, I am this evil. I apologize, my friends who love this book, for what I'm about to say. This is the worst children's book I've read since The Giving Tree. Did you ever read that one?
No.
I didn't either, but apparently it was beloved.
Okay.
Person said, yes, the snake was chilling and the finale was lovely, but the underlying ideas are so awful that I can't rate this any higher. And she said, here's my issue. The problem with the world isn't that people grow up. It's that far too many never finish the job. Hmm. The romantic obsession with being a child isn't beautiful and it isn't warranted. Growing up is good. I'd agree with that
Okay.
in some ways. Maturity
Yep.
sets you free. It is impossible to see the invisible without it. And he says the invisible is what matters the most. Fair point. And when you truly have it, kings and vain men and drunkards and businessmen and lamplighters and geographers turn out to be as beautiful as roses. And you don't have to tame or be tamed to love someone. What do you think of those thoughts? She had one more thought that I thought was interesting.
I agree with the taming. I think that that's probably Antoine's experience with probably a lot of
Mm,
love and relationships is that it's painful and good. But for the flip side is that there's no relationship that's just all good all the time. Sometimes there will be
yeah.
pain and you have to kind of accept that with it.
Yeah. And did you view the taming as painful with the fox? I thought
Well,
it
yeah,
was time
because
intensive, but I didn't think it was painful.
well, sometimes because he's like, well, you'll go away and I'll miss you and I'll cry. So that's the pain. Is like by being connected to someone, then at one point they won't be with you and you'll be sad.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I see that. But I also feel like taming, like I feel like taming isn't a word that we use very often, and we definitely wouldn't use it for like making friends with someone.
Hmm.
Because I kind of feel like the idea that he's saying there is true, where it's like if you're friends with someone, you will be sad when they're not there. Like a really like deep, close kind of friendship, you know?
Yeah, I guess maybe I wasn't making myself clear. I disagree with the
Oh, with
reviewer
the
and I
okay.
agree with Antoine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think the tame thing, yeah, I'm what you just said. I agree with Antoine. Um, okay, and I feel like she kind of missed the point, I'll be honest, with the kings and the drunkards and the businessmen.
Hmm.
She said it's impossible to see the invisible without it, and when you truly have it, all those people are just as beautiful as roses. I agree. Like you can have a job and be beautiful, but those people were missing the point.
They were obsessed.
Yeah, they were obsessed.
They were obsessed.
They, yeah, yeah,
To me, it's not about, because she said being obsessed with being childlike. I don't believe that the pilot is obsessed with being childlike. I think the pilot wants to reclaim some some of that childlike innocence or creativity and curiosity.
yeah, yeah. Right. You're recognizing the good parts of childhood
Hmm.
and being like, we actually shouldn't let those parts go, or at least hold on to them
Yeah,
a little bit more.
right.
Yeah.
There can be a balance between counting the stars just because
Mm-hmm.
and being naive.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Hmm.
I do get what she's saying though, is that like some people never grow up, and that's an issue.
Yes,
Like if
that's
you're
not
never
good either.
responsible for anything, yeah. So
Right.
I get that, but I don't think that's what the book is saying. Okay, you want to hear her last comment?
Sure.
She said, "It also really does not help matters that the rose is the only female voice, conforming to almost every stereotype of the feminine I can think of off the top of my head, or that the hero blithely continues on inflicting pain on those around him, and this figures as wisdom." That is that is it, really. The wisdom contained in these pages is poison. Loved the
Oh,
snake though. But
um, I mean, is it kind of a derivative form of women to make a delicate, beautiful rose that can't help themselves and needs a man to take care of her?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. But I didn't take this as like I don't know. I didn't take this as like a feminist book.
I didn't take it as that either. And I wonder if it's because all the drunkards and the accountant and everyone, they're all men.
Hmm.
So it's like, was I wanting one of them to be a woman to even it out? It's like I don't think that'd really help.
Well, and yeah, I feel like I don't know. I don't think that you have to have a strong female in every book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some women are delicate and beautiful and
Mm-hmm.
are like a rose. And like, what's wrong with them being represented?
Right. Yeah, that's a great point.
Now, maybe they're overrepresented. That would be the counter argument.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it seemed like the prince, it wasn't like he was just obsessed with how beautiful the rose was. He was just like, that's my rose. And even though she does
Yeah.
sometimes terrible things, I still love her. Like, she's mine. She's my responsibility. I need to go take care of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I know. I didn't get a bad feeling from that. Also, was the fox female or male in your book? Because mine honestly kept changing pronouns. There were some typos in my copy.
oh, ooh, I was
That's
gonna
okay
say
if you don't
gender
remember.
neutral. I don't remember.
Maybe it kept switching because I thought sometimes it referred to the fox as a she,
Oh,
but I think my book just had some errors in it, I think.
interesting. That's what you get for paying for
So
$1.
I know it is worth it.
Well, I paid $0.
Well, you had to print a million
I
pages.
I did have to print 1,000,000 pages, and it's really hard for me to flip through. Yeah, because it would just say the fox for me. He
But
added.
sometimes, oh, he,
Yeah, he said he. Okay. It's about
yeah.
brotherly love.
Oh.
No,
Okay,
I'm
so maybe
just
the
like
fox was a he too. Oh yeah.
I'm just joking. But I mean, it seems to yeah, it just has like male protagonists. I think that's okay.
Yeah, that didn't bother me.
That didn't bother me.
Yeah.
I think I think sometimes you can have a book that is male forward. Sometimes you have a book that's
Hmm.
female forward. I think both is
Yeah,
okay.
I think so too. But I guess this person, she's probably already disgruntled with the rest of the book. But by the time she read the full circle story of the rose, she was like, of course.
She's like, of course.
Yeah. He hates
And
women.
another thing.
Yeah. Okay, our time's up, but this one last little small comment from another person who gave it a 1 star. His main critique, actually, it's pretty funny. His main critique was that it was so boring.
Uh,
He said, I
I
truly don't
mean,
understand. That was one of your critiques. Gave it a 3. He said, I truly don't understand how this book has over 1.5 million ratings. It's like some cruel joke people play on each other by recommending it to others. He said, I was bored to tears. I have an eyelid infection. I was
oh my
on board
God.
until the little prince showed up. That was like
That's the
5 pages
beginning.
in. What?
He's like, I was on board until I opened the
I
cover.
know. Immediately off. Okay, then he goes on to say it's way too deep on a spiritual level for any 6 to 8 year old to get. Why would they even read it in the first place? It's painfully dull. There's tons of children's books and television that combine learning with fun and jokes. I guess this author didn't get the memo. Crazy. Wild.
This is not a kid's book. I do agree with that.
Yeah. Do you think you could read it to a kid as a bedtime story? Like, let's say you have a kid, you
Yeah,
read
of
them stories every
course.
night. So, do you think they would enjoy it?
I think a boring story is the perfect bedtime book.
Oh, yeah, read this with the princess and the goblin.
Yeah, yeah. Snooze Town, put you right to sleep. I mean, genius.
Honestly, good idea.
I think it would do better as a read aloud book
Yeah. Hmm.
than reading it to yourself. So I think there's that. So I think if you read it aloud, I think it could be more interesting.
Hmm.
But fundamentally, I believe this book is for adults.
Right. I agree. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, overall rating was a 4.33
On Goodreads.
on Goodreads out of
And we
2.3
gave it
million ratings.
wow. We gave it a 4.7.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. All right.
So we
All
liked
right.
it.
So we liked it a little more.
Hmm.
Well, we didn't have any of these 1 stars out
Yeah,
here.
that's true.
Oh my God. Sometimes I wonder if people read the same books that we read when they give a 1 star and you're like, what? Or even like a 5 star sometimes and you're like, "Mm,
That's true too. Yeah, you're right. It goes both ways.
yeah, we've seen it
Yeah.
both.
If
Okay.
they don't have our opinion, they're wrong.
I mean, isn't that what everyone thinks? For programming, next episode either will be a short story with Chrissy and Sam or it'll be a skip. And then we'll come back with
Oh,
The Alchemist.
yes. Yeah, that's right. How many parts are we doing that in? Did we say?
2 or 3. Although I'm wondering if we should do because I'm bringing Tress and the Emerald Sea with me.
Oh, yeah.
Should I read it and be the pilot and you
Oh. Well, I don't
read
know. Do we want to
along?
both be surprised or do we want to have someone know what's going on?
I need to be I need to be like more caught up on the reading. I need to be ahead in the readings at a minimum. Either we both read all of it or I read all of it.
Oh, okay. Why don't you bring both if you have room for both?
I already finished
What?
The Alchemist.
Oh, you did? Oh. Well, then, yeah, you could read Tress. I haven't
Yeah.
read The Alchemist yet.
Okay. Okay. So I'll just be ahead in the readings and that'll help me because all this travel and stuff is making it
Yeah.
really difficult.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, I like that idea. All right, me and Sam will pull something together.
Okay, that sounds
So
good.
we'll make it happen. Yay. All
Okay.
right. Well, this was fun.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.